How's it? I'm Tove Kane and I'm really excited about my brand new summer challenge. I'm getting ready for lounging by the pool, enjoying the hot summer evenings and sexy parties with the GI Lean Weight Loss Challenge. I know that shaving off those winter layers can be a little tough sometimes. So I found the GI Lean Weight Loss System at Discam and I'm putting it to the test. Follow my progress on Jacaranda 94.2 and connect to jacarandafm.com for more info.
Radio is, and probably will always be, a very important medium in the South African landscape because it offers an incredibly high penetration of the target of the South African population. For our GI Lean campaign, we wanted to create hype and excitement for GI Lean just prior to the summer season, and radio being a very uncluttered medium when we look at the weight loss category, that was our primary medium in order to achieve that, to achieve our objectives. In terms of the actual concept of what we did, we really wanted to test the product and we wanted to expose the product and what it can do to the Jacaranda listeners. So what we did is we organized with the correct DJ that could endorse the brand, which in this particular case was Tove Kane, who is absolutely perfect. She's got a very loyal following, she's got a very popular show, and at the same time she was the right person to represent GI Lean. So what we did was we arranged with her before to take the product over a certain amount of weeks, which was 7 weeks, and we would do a before and after to show how effective the product was. So in other words, when all these other brands are making all these claims predominantly in print, we really wanted to expose the product. We wanted to show the listeners that it does work using a credible personality, and the listeners could keep track on that with regular updates on radio, and at the same time bringing the online or the internet included within the actual campaign for updates so that the listeners could also keep current. The bulk of the activity was on radio. We launched it on radio with a planned call in which the CEO contacted Tove Kane live on air after Tove had just out of the blue mentioned that she would like to lose weight for the summer season. So a call was then pre-arranged, and whereby the CEO of More to Life Health called in and said that he's just heard on the radio that Tove would like to lose weight, so he would like to challenge her to lose whatever her target weight would be over that 7-week period, and if she did succeed, then she would be able to donate money to charity, the charity of her choice, because Tove is very involved with charity. So that was the idea. It was driven by radio with live reads and what RadMark commonly call their power spots. But over and above that, there was then activity on Tove's blog and on Jacaranda's website, in which case regular updates were given, and it almost orbited around radio. We used it over a 7-week period in which Tove had the chance in order to reach her goal weight. We flighted generic ads over that time period. We had regular live reads. We had power spots which Tove read once a week, whereby she had no script. She just had to speak about some benefit of the product, and so she really spoke in a way that was very convincing for the listeners and came across far more credible than a regular live read that is quite a contentious issue within the industry as to does it work, or do the listeners understand that it's just simply a script. The response was very overwhelming. They far exceeded last year's figures, and last year we were the sole sponsor of The Biggest Loser, South Africa. So yeah, we were on television, and this year the sales have exceeded last year. There was a radio, obviously we had our radio campaign, we had very limited television, and we had very limited magazine activity. The bulk of our advertising in terms of how frequently we were active was on radio. The sales were, if I remember correctly, I think 3 times what last year's were. With our budget, without going into the results in terms of sales, from a media planning perspective, we didn't have a big budget. We really did maximize our budget in terms of what we could have got on any other medium. The money we spent would have been totally ineffective on television, and at the same time, putting that money into magazines with all our other competitors, it wouldn't have worked because we just would have seen as being another of these Me Too brands. So it gave us the space in order to be unique. It gave us a space to shout far louder than what our competitors are doing within a very credible medium, as we know specifically Jacaranda is. So yeah, had we invested that amount of money on any other medium, it just wouldn't have worked.